Hello everyone and welcome to another one of my book review videos. Today I'm going to be reviewing Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. Aveyard, I hope I said that correctly. I think the description is actually on the back of this one instead of on the inside cover because it's a soft cover. I'm so mad I bent the cover by mistake. You guys can't really see it on camera, but I'm mad. I've just got a little crease in there now. Not happy about that, but such is life. Mayor Barrow's world is divided by blood, those with red and those with silver. Mayor and her family are lowly reds, destined to serve the silver elite whose supernatural abilities make them nearly gods. Mare steals what she can to help her family survive, but a twist of fate leads her to the royal palace itself, where, in front of the king and all his nobles, she discovers an ability she didn't know she had, except her blood is red. To hide this impossibility, the king forces her into the role of a lost silver princess and betroths her to one of his own sons. As Mare is drawn further into the silver world, her actions put into motion a deadly and violent dance, pitting prince against prince and Mare against her own heart. This, from debut author Victoria Aveyard comes a lush, vivid fantasy series where loyalty and desire can tear you apart, and only certainty is betrayal. It's in a fantasy world, totally made up. I kind of like the cover. I should mention that first, with the crown on it, dripping blood. That's kind of cool. Total fantasy world, where just like it says in the book, there's everyone looks like a normal person, but some people have silver blood and they have abilities like, say, telekinesis, or some are really strong, or people can control fire or water, which is, interesting. And Mare's family is just normal, everyday people. She has one sister and 3 brothers. The Reds have all sorts of rules on them. They're basically just laborers and servants and stuff like that, and they get used a lot. It's a typical feudal system, I guess. Their world is a little bit more technologically advanced, though. Like, they have electricity and cameras and things like that in the world as well. It gives me very, very strong Hunger Game vibes. It's not exactly the same as Hunger Games, though, but it gives me Hunger Game vibes. I enjoyed it a lot. I didn't really notice anything that didn't work well or anything like that. There's potential I wouldn't say plot holes, but questions unanswered. There's always questions unanswered. There are potential plot holes with Mare's love interest, I could say. She has options. There's 2 princes. Mare's best friend, and I can't remember his name for the life of me now. Isn't that funny? And I'm not going to be able to find it. Looking for it is probably not the smartest. Kalorn. His name is Kalorn. Anyway, that's not that important to the series, but he is a fairly main character. Mare gets discovered, like they say, in some sense, where she has an ability too. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but you have to read the book to find out. It is book 1 of 4. I don't know if I said that already. Doesn't matter. It's 1 of 4. I'm telling you again. She gets discovered. She gets sent to the castle. The main plot is basically the system is wrong, and there's people trying to overthrow the system, and Mare gets sucked into helping overthrow the system. It's a typical plot. There's so many different ways to tell that story though, how there's something wrong with the system and how they fix it. It's a typical plot in a lot of books. Actually, some that I've already reviewed have the same basic thing where there's some sort of rebellion and the characters are trying to help out the rebellion either from the outside or from the inside. And being as Mare is in the castle, she tries to help from the inside a bit. She gets the king engages her to his second son, Prince number 2, Maven, and the Prince number 1. The king's name is Tiberius, and the eldest son is also Tiberius, but he goes by Cal. His last name is Kalorn, so he goes by Cal, so we don't get the king and the prince mixed up. The plot twists in this, I only guessed them like right before it happened, and I probably could have tried harder and figured it out sooner. She gives us hints, but I'm not one of those kind of people. Like, I like to be surprised. I don't try and unravel stories and things like that. Like, even in movies, I don't try and unravel it and try and figure out what's going to happen. I like just to be entertained, which is the point, right? So I did guess some of them before, like right before it happens. And she does give a few hints, not crazy hints or anything like that, but like there's hints that something isn't right. I liked them though. The twists that were thrown in, they were good. And it's kind of good to see. I'd like to see how it ends, because there's the twist. One of the twists is right at the end, which is nice. Being that there's a series of 4. And that's something else. Like, coming into it, I knew it was 4 books, so my expectations for this one is how it advanced. Being there's 4 more books coming, so I know certain things aren't going to be happening in book 1. It's just not possible, because it's book 1. What's going to happen in the other 4 books? The romance, like I said, she has a few potential interests, but the romance is very slow burn, and there's only like a few kissing scenes, and there's not even a lot much detail. I have no idea what the other books are going to get into when things progress, if things progress that way. I wouldn't call it enemies to lovers or anything like that. There's no kind of tropes like that in it. There was something else I was going to say, and then I interrupted myself. I don't remember. The end for book 1 was satisfying. It leaves everything that happened sort of tied up. There's still open-ended questions. The main plot of overthrowing the government has not happened. It'll take a while. There's 3 more books to read. But overall, I really like this book. Gave me the feels. I didn't want to put it down. It had me on the edge of my seat at some points. The pace was steady through the whole book. I didn't find it too slow, or there was a couple fast scenes, but in general, it was evenly paced. The characters like Mare and the princes, their characters grow slowly, but again, there's 4 books, so I'm not expecting big jumps or leaps or anything like that, but you can see the growth and the change happening as the book progresses. I would rate it 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I loved everything about it. The characters, I found Mare really relatable. The plot, even though, like I said, it's predictable and similar to so many other books that are like it, to overthrowing the government, it's a different twist on it, and I liked how they're doing this twist. It's different. I would recommend it, and yeah, that's it. I would recommend it. You guys need to you guys need to read this book. I gotta get out of the habit of putting the book over here and staring at it, because that's silly. You can see me turning my head in the camera. I like when the books are all together. I've got the other ones on the shelf behind me, but you can't really see them. But when I review the last book, I will show them all together so you can see all of them together. I cannot wait to do the other books because I really enjoy this one and I want to know what happens. Highly recommend. Very interesting. Different way of putting the... Well, at least I haven't read a book like it with the way they are doing the rebellion and overthrowing the government. Some things might come up similar in the next books. I don't know. I will find out. I hope you enjoyed that review. Stay tuned for when I post the next books. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to me so you get the notifications when the next books are released. Next reviews. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, guys.